Will the desperate refinance? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and I want to have a look at an article from Finder, of all places, about refinancing. Because, well, we all know interest rates are going up. The cash rate is at 3.6%, and that may not seem like a lot historically, but you've got to remember, it's gone up from 0.1. So they're going to be people that have had a huge delta change in their the interest rates that they're paying. And cost of living has gone through the roof. The rent on the place we're renting up the road while we're doing our construction work has gone up 33%. Now, we kind of expected it, and it's keeping up with the market. It was very cheap, but still, I mean, these are big hits to cost of living, and they're not going to go away. They're going to be entrenched. You know, I can't imagine the rental costs will fall. Not in the near future, everyone. You have to remember, that's a support mechanism for the value of real estate and housing as well. So when people are predicting massive corrections in the market, you've got to bear that in mind. So let's have a look at this from Finder. Mortgage Lifeline, refinancing tidal wave looms. Now, that makes sense if you get the banks competing for your business. Sometimes they can even give you, a cash money to get you across the line. It depends on, well, the quality of a risk that you are. Like doctors, I understand some of them can borrow like 105% of the value of a property. It's just crazy. It's a different world. So let's check this all out, guys. Thousands of Aussie mortgage holders are planning on refinancing in the next 6 months, according to new research by Finder. A survey of 1,054 respondents, 313 of which have a mortgage, almost 1 in 5 revealed 1 in 5 are planning to refinance their home loan by July. Now, okay, so 313 people of 1,054, and then you can extrapolate that to the population of the country, and it kind of works out, to be quite honest. Now, there you go. 600,000 people planning to refinance. That's not surprising at all. The challenge is going to be to those people who bought in during the mania, who bought too expensive, or who bought in at insanely high property prices. Well, they're all insanely high, aren't they? Who bought in at the most recent insanely high property prices, and their LVRs have gone down. Maybe they didn't have enough deposit. Maybe they got the 2% government-backed deposit. 2%, everyone. That's not that much money. The research found 15%, equivalent to 495 borrowers, say they might refinance if interest rates rise even further. More than half of mortgages, 54%, say a cheaper interest rate is what they are seeking, followed by an offset account of 12% and a signing up cash bonus of 11%. I mean, this is encouraging. It's not bad news. This is good news. This means people are taking control of their finances, they're taking control of their mortgage, and they're making, hopefully, intelligent decisions to, well, manage the financial burden that's been placed upon them for the greater good of all Australians to fight that inflation. The RBA is doing such a valiant job for us. But this is how I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this as a good sign. Because in the past, it was, I don't know what I was watching. Back when I used to watch television as a kid, A Current Affair or The Today Show or Sunday. Remember Sunday? Where it'd be like, this revolutionary idea of actually shifting banks to get a better deal with your mortgage. Remember that, when hardly anyone did that? You're very sticky to your banks, or even very lazy in calling them up to get a better deal. And I think more people are aware of that now. I think part of the reason, too, is that you can self-educate and increase your financial knowledge and just personal finance understanding significantly thanks to YouTube and the internet. The amount of stuff you can learn just while you're doing the dishes, put on a Dave Ramsey podcast or another episode or something, and you can pick things up. I wouldn't be blindly following financial advice from social media influencers. Like the people who pick the hot stocks. That was one thing I remember back in 2017 when crypto was getting big. I'd be watching these YouTubers and they were doing all their TA and all this stuff about these coins, and they'd be going up and wow, it's following their predictions, and then it crashes right back down or it never materializes. You become I become a bit cynical about it all. But anyway, let's keep going here. So I think I'll chalk this up to a good news article. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know in the comments what you think. A total of $17.8 billion worth of home loans have been refinanced over the past 12 months, a 4% increase over the year, according to data from the ABS. Richard Whitten, home loans expert at Finder, said lenders should expect an influx of borrowers looking for lower interest rates. While most borrowers are looking for a better deal and are not in mortgage stress, thousands of homeowners are struggling right now, being forced to fork out thousands more on their mortgage. Many are looking for relief. Some are missing meals or bills and are looking at the possibility of losing their homes. I mean, they say that. But we look at how often houses actually how many forced sales there actually are. I mean, look at how many happened in the lockdown period. They just extended loans out. What you'll see is you'll see the quiet tap on the shoulder. And, we should be skipping meals. That's, OMAD, go 1 meal a day. Could you imagine that if there was Australian government push for OMAD, intermittent fasting, animal products, and avoiding highly processed foods? Could you imagine if that would have happened? That would save us a lot of money in healthcare. But anyway, back to this. Following 10 successive interest rate rises, the average mortgage holder will be paying over $13,000 more a year in interest compared to this time last year. Yes, that's true, but the cash rate back then it's just bullshit. Okay? All of us knew it was rubbish that it would stay that low for that long. 0.1%. It couldn't go any lower. The only hope you had of it going negative was quashed when Philip Lowe told the senators that no, it's not going to happen in Australia. But that wasn't picked up by the media. Here's the thing. The media the media has an incentive to get eyeballs and views on their article, so they will over-dramatize things. It's no different to YouTube. I didn't appreciate how much of a way they play things up until I became a YouTuber and just saw the difference. It's astonishing. It really is. And well, that's it. That's why there'll be so many articles about negative interest rate potential, or APRA telling the banks to prepare for negative rates, and that gets repeated again and again and again. You see, one media release may go from one organization, and then 5 different outlets will pick up the same story, or they'll take a story someone else did and just tweak it a bit. So you think there's this information coming from 10 different sources, so it magnifies the perception that how important it is compared to reality, because it was just a prep. But some people believe that. The same can be said for RBA, for Philip Lowe and the RBA's prediction that rates will be on hold until 2024. Now, that's been proven wrong. So the best thing is, I think, to be a little skeptical and cynical with anything the media is putting forward to you, and even online, social media, and people who are alternative media too, and truthers and all of that. You've got to remember, they will use it. Their advantage is to gain views, to gain clicks, to gain eyeballs, those type of things, and that's how you see it. So just be a bit skeptical. Based on the average loan size of $604,000, the average monthly repayment has increased by a staggering $1,100. Whitten said many households are feeling financial stress and are looking for how much they can save by switching to a more competitive interest rate. Cash flow is a major concern right now, and many aren't earning enough to keep up with interest rate hikes. Finder data shows interest rates as low as 4.74% are available to refinances. The mortgage is often the biggest household expense and also the greatest opportunity for savings. Even loans that are less than 12 months old need to be reevaluated. Whitten said those worried about missing a payment should talk to their lender as soon as possible. It's better to negotiate some kind of hardship arrangement or repayment holiday than to simply stop repaying the loan. This harms your credit score and puts you at risk of default. almost 1 in 4, 23% of millennial homeowners are planning to refinance within 6 months, compared to just 4% of baby boomer borrowers. Well, the boomers probably don't need to. They probably don't have enough money owed on their house to make it worthwhile. I know there's some viewers in the comments, they'll be complaining, I can't get refinance, or no one wants to talk to me because I got 100 grand left on my house. So I'm sure there'd be brokers out there that would help you, but you know what I mean. So what are you looking at? So yeah, there you go. 54% cheapest interest rate. So guys, let's all have a bit of a talk about this one. So there we go. Will the desperate refinance, or will everyone refinance? Honestly, shop around. Don't be afraid to talk to brokers, talk to banks. And remember, some brokers, it's funny. You know, they've got a certain quota to fill with a bank. Like my understanding is if you're with if you sign people up to Combank, you've got to meet a certain number of them. So shop around so you have people that can give you a variety of options. And you can even walk in yourself and talk to the banks to try and get deals. I see this as good news. This, to me, is a good news article that Aussies are taking control of their finances and their personal financial situation. What do you reckon? Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments below. Check out Heise BIM and Heise Does for other content that I create. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use our affiliate links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next episode of Heise Says. Oh, it's starting to get hot. I'm going to have to start recording in the mornings, I think. It's it's getting there. Not going to buy air conditioning. Not for a few years.